All right, bruh, fans. Now, I've talked about this before, and, well, it's one of those subjects that I feel like is worth revisiting, and that's the fact that I think that Bill and Regina need to get a divorce sooner than later, due to the fact that regardless of what they had in the past and how good apparently Bill is, in bed, they really aren't a good fit for each other. I mean, Pam said it in episode 11, the fact that, you were really in love with Peter, and it's like, are you married to Bill in a way to kind of get back at him? And I mean, Regina's like, he's going to pay what he owes, and he's going to get used to this with my mom being here and whatnot. But if you ask me, it's kind of interesting because despite the fact that, the marriage, they got married, and they're living together now and whatnot, during the first couple seasons of the show, it felt like the reason Regina kept going back and forth was because she really loved Bill. But it seems to me the only reason they got married was, she feels like she's owed what she lost by, him ruining her wedding. And if you ask me, that's not much about love at all. It just seems like, hey, you did me wrong, so hey, tick for tack. And that's not really the basis of a solid marriage. Now, we know that Bill did cheat less than 48 hours after being married. Him and Claudia got it on, and all that stuff aside about her having a crazy husband and whatnot, who's a gangster killer and whatnot. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the core of the Regina and Bill marriage, and they just really don't belong together. And like I said in my season 3A kind of recap, it's the fact that this is the first season where I've actually felt bad for Bill. And I think we're really actually seeing, for like the first time in the show, why he is a dog. The fact that, yeah, him cheating with Claudia was wrong on so many levels. And I give him credit for rejecting her advances the first time she tried, have sex with him. But we actually see how he was pushed to calling her and getting it on. The fact that he gets home and just things are bad. His mother-in-law staying with him. There was no warning, no announcement of that. She just came in and started taking over everything. Regina is anything but a loving wife, and her best friend, who's always going at it with Bill, is constantly over at his place. And when you think about it, it seems like all of these women stay at Bill's place more than Bill does. And I mean, he works from home. Well, not anymore, apparently. So I just really feel when it comes down to it, these two did not get married or get together, under the best circumstances. Think of it this way. And I've said this before. Yeah, Bill's a dog. He's a cheater. He's this, he's that. But does everybody forget about the fact that, has everybody just forgotten the fact that Regina cheated on Peter? She had sex with Bill at her bachelorette party in the bathroom the day before, or the night before she was supposed to get married to Peter. So it's like she was engaged, damn near married. I mean, what if they had the wedding? I don't really know much about marriage, given that I'm single as fuck. But aren't you supposed to get like a wedding certificate or something? You're supposed to like go to the courthouse and get your documentation, and that takes place before the wedding ceremony. So at that point, weren't they married? If they got the document right, they were already technically married, and then they had the ceremony. But in this situation, yeah, she decided, screw it, I want to screw Bill in the bathroom. And I'm wondering, and I forgot about this detail, but I wonder if the whole bathroom sex was the reason that she decided not to go through with the wedding with Peter, because in her mind, she would have felt guilty. Which, I mean, begs the question, would these two have gotten married if Bill never showed up, Because we talk about, oh, Bill's foul, he cheated on Regina, and, he's with Claudia, they barely been married, less than 2 days. But here you have Regina, who cheated on Peter and then had the nerve to go up to the altar the very next day. And I think Miss Alice called her out for it. So it's just one of those things where I think that as much as I'll just say me, but I think a lot of fans, we're on the same wavelength. A few fans who actually watch my reviews on the show and comment, you know, Bill is always depicted a certain way, but Regina ain't clean herself. So to actually have the nerve to like constantly test Bill and put him through the ringer, I don't feel is fair, because every person, not just every man, but every person has their limits as to how much they can take. And Regina is just constantly putting Bill through the motions. And it's like, as a man myself, it's like, well, hell yeah, I'm not down for adultery and cheating, but I can see why Bill is doing what he's doing, because Regina just won't let the man have a break. And, you know, it's just ridiculous how these two just have stayed married. He should have gotten annulled, just like Mike said. But then again, Mike was one of the ones who said, man, don't go over there messing with that woman's wedding. And well, he did it anyway, and look how things turned out. So I think at the core, these two just shouldn't be together. Now, will they eventually find their way to each other? Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, think of it this way. If and when, and I'm pretty sure Regina will find out about, you know, Bill cheating, that's something that he's never going to live down. And, you know, if nothing else, it's just like, I feel like Regina knows she made a mistake by marrying Bill. But I just go back to like season 2, where she was skeptical of even moving in with Bill. And then after sex that same night, this fool pulled out a ring and she wanted to get married the next day. And I'm just like, you're just asking for trouble and heartbreak, Bill. You need to take it slow. Show her that you can trust her, because I think at this point, you know, he even said after speaking with Natalie that, you know, I'm going to go to counseling and whatnot and therapy, which I'm like, this is great, because we had that wonderful moment where I think Bill talked about how, what was it, his mom or his dad wasn't there for him when he was growing up. And I thought that we were actually going to get some Bill development. But that got just thrown to the wayside in favor of, hey, we're going to have some wacky antics with the mother-in-law moving in. And it's like, wait, what? And that's one, I should have mentioned this in my video going over season 3A, but I think Bruh has a lot of great ideas and concepts at times, but they usually get dropped by the wayside in favor of just writing a zany storyline. And that's what I feel really does hurt the show more than help it. But regardless, let me know, you know, your thoughts. Do you think Bill and Regina will work things out, or do you think they should just get an annulment? So thanks so much for tuning in. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.